What's up, everyone? It's Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your MLB home run prop show for Sunday, April 9th, 2023. Before we get to those home run props, got to let you guys know, Pickdawgz.com, we're doing it bigger and better than anyone else. Got more free pick videos on our channel than you'll find anywhere else on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed. And also take advantage of our free sportsbook bonus offer, the link in the description of this video below. Now, while I do love giving out free picks, if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily $19 best bet, check out Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. But let's get to the home run prop show for Sunday, April 9th. A great day on Friday. Tried to carry that over into Saturday, and we'll do a bit of a recap. Took a bit of a step back, but you know what? We didn't go over, and that's just one of the like I said, the perils of what you're doing when you're betting on home run props. They are high risk, high reward. I'll get to that in a minute, but I'll do, like I said, a quick recap here. Look at our first one was Shohei Ohtani. Unfortunately, Ohtani kind of fell short against the Toronto Blue Jays. Wasn't for a lack of trying, and I'll tell you, we had Mike Trout definitely show up to play, and he hit one out of the park. And I think he hit a car with a home run on Saturday night. But for Ohtani, 1 for 3 with a double, but fortunately, double doesn't get you to the pay window when we're betting these home run props. We also had Wander Franco. We tried to go back to the well with Franco after a nice home run on Friday. It seemed like everyone at the top end of the Rays rotation got on the home run action except for Franco. 1 for 4 at the plate, and that one couldn't cash in on the plus 800. Same thing with Luis Robert. 2 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs, but unfortunately, no home run for Robert. Same thing with Aaron Judge, 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. We mentioned Giancarlo Stanton, how my concern was, that he didn't hit lefties all that well last season. Well, Stanton got the home run. Unfortunately, it was not Judge that hit it, but someone that did hit the home run for us, that did leave the yard, Nolan Arenado, got it done for us, plus 270. Not the most amount of plus money, but hey, we'll still take it. It's still money back in our pocket, and stuff that we can roll over to Sunday's action. Did go 2 for 3 at 3 RBIs total on the day, and unfortunately Paul Goldschmidt fell short for us at 1 for 5 at the dish with a double in the victory over the Brew Crew. Now, I've talked about this before when we've talked about these home run props. They're very high risk, high reward. You're not going to hit every single day. Our goal is to, at least hit one. Try to make the majority, if not all, the money back and then some on our home run prop. And then if you hit a second one, it's profit. Like I said, we hit 4 the other day. You take what would have been, I think, 6 bets, and you get back plus 1650 on hitting those 4. I think if you parlayed those 4 up, you're talking about a $12,000 payday on $10. But that's exactly how much of a long shot these home run props can be. So, again, for me, I've said this before, for me, the home run props are just sort of in conjunction with any other daily bets, like whether it's sides or totals that I'll have action on. The home run props just to add a little bit of spice and maybe make a couple extra bucks, kind of like a side bet when you're playing blackjack or something. It's not something that you rely on to build up your bankroll, but it's a nice little piece of side action to have on the games as well. And what we're gonna do with our home run props today, we're gonna go a little bit of a different route with this. I'm gonna look at a couple marquee games I think have a ton of potential for some home run props. I'm gonna throw in a couple of single players thrown in there as well. Again, for my suggestion, these are the games these are the home run props that I'm gonna put a couple of bucks on Sunday. You don't have to play every single one. This is just to point you in the right direction. You're more than welcome to play every single one. You can parlay them up if you want to. I don't recommend parlaying every single one, but if you see a couple that you like, by all means, go for it. And while you're at it, make sure you leave your picks in the comment section below. Whether it's home run props, whether you agree with me on some of the matchups, whether you disagree, whether you have different different home run props that you want to give out. But do me a favor, get them in before the game started. I saw a couple people drop in some comments on Saturday saying, "Hey, I hit a parlay, this and this." That's great, that's cool, good job. But unfortunately, it doesn't help the rest of us. We all want to win. We all want to beat the books as a team. So make sure you drop those home run props of yours in the comments if you want to, share it with the community. And like I said, beat the books as a team. But anyways, without further ado, we're going to look at the home run props that I got lined up for Sunday's action. Full card of action. got a lot of early games as well, so we have to try to get these in as early as possible. But still, plenty of meat on the bone, and we're going to start things off with a game that I feel has a ton of potential for some home run props on Sunday, and we're going to go to this matchup that we've seen between the Chicago White Sox and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the starting pitching matchup for this one, you got Michael Kopech listed as the starter for the White Sox, and Johan Oviedo listed as the starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oviedo gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, with 3 home runs allowed over 4 2/3 in his debut, while Michael Kopech, over 4 2/3 in his debut against the San Francisco Giants, gave up 5 home runs. Now, I know it's only a 1-game sample size, and it's only, it's easy to have a bad start to the year and then all of a sudden come back and start firing. But given what we've seen after that first start, I think it could take a couple games to shake off those yips, those issues. So, I think we're going to key in on a couple of these home run props. You're going to see some familiar faces that you've seen if you've been following the home run prop videos up to this point. I promise you, the names will change throughout the season, but being so early in the season, we don't have a huge sample size to work with. So right now, a lot of the times I'm just riding the hot hand, and if I see a matchup that kind of sticks out, I'll roll with that as well. But the first one we're going to go with is, like I said, a familiar face here, and we're going to go with Brian Reynolds to hit a home run here, plus 475. Like I said, Kopech was brutal in his debut, and if Reynolds doesn't go off on Kopech, he gets to face the MLB's worst bullpen that's given up 5 home runs already as a unit this season, has a staff ERA just under 10. And like I said, Reynolds has been absolutely tearing the cover off of the ball as of late. Going back to April 1st, he's hitting a 12 of 27, hitting 480 with a couple of extra base hits, 2 doubles, a triple, and most importantly for us here, 5 home runs. And like I said, he's just been absolute fire. So we're going to roll with Brian Reynolds for the first home run prop in this Pirates White Sox game. I got 3 lined up here. The second one I'm going to roll with is a bit of an off, I don't want to say off the board play here, but I'll still roll with it. And that's maybe a play that you just wouldn't think of off the top, but I'm going to go with Carlos Santana at plus 550. Santana has a history against Kopech from his time with the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians, and in his career against Kopech, 3 for 6, a pair of homers against Kopech, has 6 hits in his last 3 games. I think Carlos Santana is starting to pick it up, starting to swing a bit of a hotter bat. He had a bit of a slower start to the year, but again, I think there's definitely some value here with Carlos Santana at plus 550, so we're going to roll with Santana here. And for the final home run prop from this game, another familiar face here, but a face that keeps cashing for us, in spots, and that's going to be Luis Robert. Plus 650 with him here. The value keeps going up, but again, he's tearing the cover off the ball himself, seeing it really well right now. He's hitting 444 over the last week, 4 home runs, 7 extra base hits. Should have success against Johan Oviedo, who gave up, like I said, 3 home runs in his debut, and has been known to be a pitcher that's really just given up runs left and right over the course of his brief career. So, going to roll with Luis Robert to hit a home run at plus 650. But now we move on to another sort of single home run prop that I've been looking at, and this gentleman, I shouldn't say unfortunately, he did come through for us on Saturday. But for me here, I'm going to roll with what I feel is just a pretty good matchup for him here, and I'm going to go with Nolan Arenado to hit a home run. Like I said, he was the lone guy to hit one for us on Saturday. Now the odds for Arenado almost double. He was at plus 270 when we recorded the video yesterday, and now in a new matchup after hitting the home run on Saturday, plus 500. He's got a favorable matchup here against Freddie Peralta. Now I'm high on Freddie Peralta. I like him in this Brewers pitching staff. And, the thing about Peralta, though, is that his strikeout numbers were down last year. This Peralta is usually a guy that relies on strikeouts to get the job done in a lot of his appearances. 9.9 strikeouts per 9 innings last year, the lowest of his career. And in his career against Arenado, Peralta's had some issues. Arenado 6 for 17 in his career against Peralta. 3 extra base hits. All of those 3 extra base hits have been leaving the yard, a 353 batting average. And like I said, sometimes these home runs for these guys can come in bunches in these streaks. So Going to roll with Nolan Arenado here at plus 500. Some supreme value for him to homer in back-to-back games. Now, another one we're going to roll with here is Rafael Devers, plus 550 in this one. I think Devers has some great value here as well in the 2 games so far in this series for the Red Sox against the Tigers. Devers 3 home runs. I look to fade Matthew Boyd whenever possible, and at this price, definitely worth a shot. Just considering how we've seen the Boston Red Sox this season be able to score runs in bunches. Like I said, they scored 14 runs on Saturday. In each of their games against the Baltimore Orioles, they put up 9 runs. Rafael Devers has been a big catalyst for Boston's offense. I know the pitching hasn't necessarily been the greatest to get a job done, but good news is you don't have to rely on Rafael Devers to throw any pitches. You just got to worry about him swinging the bat here. And at plus 550, given the damage that he has done in this series, I definitely think it is worth a shot. But before we continue to our final few props of the day, just want to remind everybody, smash that like button, hit that thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a cent, helps us out a ton. Really appreciate it. Can't ever tell you guys really how much that helps us out. Lets us know that you guys like what we're doing and helps sort of point us in the right direction. Not only that, it helps us inspire us to create new content for you guys, like these home run prop shows, like Mitch's Nerfy videos. We've got new stuff in the works as well. But again, with your guys' support, helps us out a ton, and appreciate each and every one of you helping us get to 125,000 subscribers. Crazy milestone considering we just started this thing, this whole Pickdawgz journey just over, I think, 3 to 4 years ago. So definitely love having you guys along for the ride. Thank you guys so much for the support. But again, couldn't do it without you, but we still need your help to keep it going. So make sure you smash that like button. But anyways, let's get to our last few home run props for Sunday. And I said, what we were going to do was take a couple of games and not necessarily roll with the same game parlay, but zone in on a game and look at the potential, I don't say, usual suspects or key prospects to be able to get us over the hump there. But that's sort of the best way I can describe it. We're going to look at this matchup between the Angels and the Blue Jays, and you're going to hear a lot of the players that you would expect to hear in this matchup. But again, it is definitely for good reason. For the Los Angeles Angels, there's a couple guys I like here, mainly because I like the matchup against Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi is definitely a pitcher that I think is going to have some high upside this season. It couldn't have gotten much worse for him last year. And, I think the demotion to the bullpen for Kikuchi was definitely a bit of a wake-up call. Doesn't change the fact, though, that he is really up against it here, and he is going to have to navigate through this Angels lineup. I'm not saying that the Angels, necessarily win this game, but they don't have to win the game to be able to put up some to put some runs on the board via the long ball. And given how high scoring the first couple games of this series have been, I got to take a shot with some home run props here. And I'm going to go back to the well with a couple familiar faces from the Halos. And I go first off with Mike Trout here, plus 330. Would you like a little bit more plus money? Sure. But again, he's got a history with Yusei Kikuchi from Kikuchi's time with the Seattle Mariners. Trout 6 for 14 against Kikuchi in his career. 3 extra base hits, a pair of home runs, 6 RBIs, just 3 strikeouts. So he's not, striking out all that much. He's making some decent contact here. And I think Mike Trout definitely, given the power that he showed on Saturday, definitely capable of belting another home run here. He's always going to be a home run threat. And I think he's one here tonight as well, or on Sunday, I should say. So going to roll with Mike Trout to hit a home run at plus 330. Another familiar face and someone that didn't come through for us on Saturday, but hopefully he can come through for us here. Shohei Ohtani, plus 380. Again, this is still a great price on Ohtani. This is one of the premier hitters in Major League Baseball. You're getting almost 4 times your money on him. And he does have a history himself against Kikuchi. Maybe not necessarily as successful against Kikuchi as Mike Trout, but still 4 for 17 in his career against Kikuchi, a 235 batting average, but 3 extra base hits, a pair of home runs. And like I said, Ohtani, another one of those bats that is just always capable of going off on any given night. So we'll roll with Shohei Ohtani for a home run here at plus 380. And a couple more here. And again, remember, I can't stress it enough. Don't have to play every single one of these games. These are just the ones that I like, the ones that I put a couple bucks on for Sunday's action. Pick and choose whatever you like. If you need it, maybe you hear a name that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't think of that guy. Maybe I like that one. Could definitely roll with it that way. But we'll get to our last couple here. The first one of our last pair, we're going to switch dugouts here. We're going to go to the Toronto Blue Jays. We're going to go Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run. 4 straight multi-hit games. He's making really good contact right now. Definitely worth looking at. He's 5 for 10 against left-handed pitching this season. Reed Detmers hasn't been a guy that's necessarily given up a ton of home runs here, in his brief time in the majors. But again, another one of these batters that is just always a threat to hit a home run in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. plus 390. I definitely don't argue with any sort of value there. Like I said, you hit 1 or 2 of these, you're covering your action for the most part for Sunday. And I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just as good as any to really add to his home run tally here against Reed Detmers. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. plus 390. And the last one, a guy that I'll tell you, from me watching Toronto Blue Jays games, being in this market the last couple of seasons, not a guy I would necessarily think of to rush to the window to bet for a home run. But I'm gonna go with Bo Bichette. He is absolutely tearing the cover off of the ball right now. He's hit a home run in back-to-back games, has hits in all but one game this season, and he's just showing timely hitting, and he's coming to the plate and delivering, in a big way. And at plus 550, just given, like I said, how the ball has been flying around the park, in this series so far between the Blue Jays and the Angels, and given that Bichette has been a big catalyst into Toronto's success in this series in terms of putting runs on the board and even winning, on Friday with some late game heroics. I think Bo Bichette, definitely showing some value here, worth a couple bucks at plus 550. Well, there you go. Those were your home run props for Sunday, April 9th. We'll do a bit of a quick recap here. Like I said, we went with a couple games we kind of keyed in on for a few home run props to give you a couple different angles to look at. Also went with a couple of individual batters as well. But the first game we looked at was the matchup between the Pirates and the White Sox. Took a look at Brian Reynolds to hit a home run at plus 475. Again, these odds are subject to change. Carlos Santana to hit a home run at plus 550. And Luis Robert to hit a home run at plus 650. We also took a look at Nolan Arenado to hit a home run at plus 500, cashed for us on Saturday, and we're getting almost double the odds with Arenado this second time around. So plus 500 with Arenado, some great value in a favorable matchup against Freddie Peralta. Also like Rafael Devers to hit a home run at plus 550. Hit, like I said, 3 home runs so far in the series against Detroit. It's been a big key cog in whatever success that Boston's had offensively this season. So Rafael Devers worth a look at plus 550. And then we took a look at the matchup between the Angels and the Blue Jays. Picked out a few home run props here again. Some of the suspects that you probably expect to hear come out of my mouth when we talk about this game. But I looked at Mike Trout to hit a home run at plus 330. Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run at plus 380. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run at plus 390. And to round it out, Bo Bichette to hit a home run at plus 550. But again, guys, before I sign off here, I just wanted to point out that, another reason that we do these this betting tool show, home run prop show, is to basically show you what you can find when you use the betting tools at Sports Chat Place and Pickdawgz. The betting tools do all the heavy lifting for you. They help you find the best possible odds for a prop for a certain player. If it's someone that you've keyed in on, you don't just have to go with the percentages. You can click on a player list, and if you have a player in mind, just click on that player list to look for the team, and then look for that player, and they'll tell you, what their best prices are for maybe a hit prop or to hit a home run. We have streak tools on there, parlay builders, the best possible parlay, Nerfy and Yurfy stats. The tools are, just a fountain of knowledge, just so much that you get with those betting tools. Like I said, they do a lot of the heavy lifting for you to help you find the most value, and they're free. I mean, what else could you ask for, right? So go check them out, Sports Chat Place and Pickdawgz.com. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz as well. And also remember, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you like what we're doing here, make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for helping us get to 125,000 subscribers. We're only going to keep getting bigger and better from here. Best of luck to you guys on Sunday. Let's cash some winners.